Ever feel like your English is good, but you just want it to sound a little more natural, a little more fluent? Well, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to break down two super simple grammar rules that will make a massive difference in how you speak every single day. So, let's start with a quick question. Which one of these just sounds right to you? I enjoy to travel, or I enjoy traveling. If you're not totally sure, no worries at all. By the end of this short explainer, the answer is going to be crystal clear, and you'll know exactly why. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how to talk about what you like. Then we'll get into describing actions. After that, we'll put it all together. And finally, we'll wrap up with the key takeaways you can start using right away. All right, let's dive into section 1. This is all about talking about the things you like, you love, you enjoy, or maybe even the things you hate. There's a really simple pattern here, and once you get it, you'll see it everywhere. This right here, this is the golden rule. Whenever you use words like, love, enjoy, or hate to talk about an activity, the verb that comes right after it has to end in ing. It's a really basic pattern in English for talking about your preferences. Let's see how it works in a real sentence. So instead of saying, I like to read, you'd say, I like reading novels in the evening. You see that? The preference verb, like, is followed by the activity, reading, with that ing on the end. And this rule works no matter which preference verb you use. You can use a stronger one like love. So, following that same pattern, we get she loves singing. See? The structure is exactly the same, super consistent. And of course, it works for dislikes too. It's the same pattern. I hate waiting. So with just this one little rule, you can talk about the whole range of things you like and dislike doing. So what if you want to make it negative? It's actually really simple. You just add don't or doesn't right before that preference verb. The important part is the ing verb doesn't change at all. It stays exactly the same. Okay, time for a quick practice run. How would you ask this as a question? Take a second to think about it. The answer is, does she like dancing? Yep, for questions, you just put do or does right at the start. It really is that easy. Okay, on to our second building block. We figured out what we like to do. Now let's add some more detail and describe how we do it. And that's where something called adverbs of manner comes into play. I know, adverb of manner sounds a little technical, but the idea is simple. It's just a word that tells you the way something is done. And the best part? Usually, you just take an adjective you already know, add ly to the end, and you've got one, like slow becomes slowly. So there are basically three main patterns to know. For most adjectives, you just slap ly on the end. Easy. If the word already ends in y, like happy, you just change it to ily, so you get happily. And then, like with everything in English, there are a few odd ones you just kind of have to memorize. Now, this one is huge. This is probably the most common irregular one and a mistake a lot of learners make. Just remember, you don't do something good, you do it well. So, he plays the piano well. If you can nail this one, you'll sound so much more natural. So, where do these adverbs actually go in a sentence? Well, the most common and natural spot is right after the verb. For example, she spoke carefully. Putting it at the end of the sentence is also super common. And if you really want to add some drama or emphasis, you can stick it right at the beginning. Okay, this is the really cool part. We've learned these two separate rules. Now we're going to put them together to build sentences that are way more detailed, descriptive, and, you guessed it, more natural. So let's start with a quick reminder of rule number 1. A perfectly good sentence. They enjoy hiking. We've got our subject, our preference verb, and our ing activity. Simple. And here's rule number 2 in action. How do they hike? They hike slowly. We're using our adverb to describe that action. Now, let's smash them together. And there it is. They enjoy hiking slowly in the mountains. This is that aha moment. We've just combined both rules into one sentence. We're not just saying what they enjoy, we're saying how they enjoy doing it. See how much better that sounds? And hey, here's a little pro tip if you want to take it even further. When you start using lots of adverbs, there's a natural order to them in English. Manner, then place, then time. So think how, then where, then when. She sang beautifully at the concert last night. Following that order will always sound right. We have covered a lot pretty quickly.
So let's just take a second to boil it all down to the most important points that you can take away from this and start using immediately.
Okay, here are the 4 things you really want to lock in. First, those preference verbs, like love, enjoy, hate, are always followed by a verb with ing. Second, use do, don't, does, or doesn't for questions and negatives. Third, adverbs tell us how something is done, and they usually end in ly. And fourth, that adverb normally goes right after the verb. That's pretty much it.
So to finish up, a question for you. Now it's your turn. Think about something you really, truly love doing. Using both of the rules we just talked about, how would you describe it? Try to make a sentence in your head right now. Because the more you practice, the easier and more natural all of this is going to feel.